What's up guys, and welcome to the channel. My name is Priscilla and happy new year. I believe this will be the first video of 2018 and there's no better way to start a new year than opening new stuff. So I'm going to be unboxing a new sewing machine I bought with my hard-earned coins. Yes, I bought another machine, the same one as before, but because I want to start running one-on-one classes in the New Year's, I thought it would be like a clever way to invest my money by buying another sewing machine. So I'm going to be showing you guys how the machine actually comes, the different compartments it has, and test it on like a fabric just to see how it stitches. So if you'd like to see me unbox this machine, keep watching. So this is the machine still in its box. I received it a few days ago. I just kept it because I thought it would be useful to show how to actually set up the machine. Just going to open the box. So it comes pretty padded. What do they call these things again? Floats? Just to keep it, you know, safe and protected. Comes with bobbins, extra bobbins, that's a buttonhole footer, spare needles, and I don't know what this last thing is, and then a zip footer as well, all in this plastic bag. Also comes with a CD. I believe these are instruction manuals. It is in different languages. So this is the machine still in this plastic container. That is the footer tucked in there, wrapped in plastic. Wrapped in a plastic bag as well. Okay, so let's open up this bad boy. This is the operation manual that it actually comes with, and I say keep this and that CD because a day would come when this machine would act up or you wouldn't understand what is going on, and this manual would actually save you. As you can see here, it comes with a needle already fixed in place, which is actually really brilliant, I must say, because so I'm going to go ahead and set this up, put some thread, try and sew with the needle in there, thread the bobbin, and just show you guys how to actually go from this new fresh machine to actually something that you can use to sew a dress or a top or whatever you want to make. So the first thing you need to do is to open up the bag that contains the pedal, which is connected to this cable. This is your power source, and this head is what you would connect to the machine, and this to your socket. So I'm going to just undo this wire and connect it to this point on this side of the machine. So if you turn to this side, there is a white knob on top, and there is a rectangular shape that has 3 silver heads. That is where this piece is going to fit into. This thing has 2 sides. There's a side with 2 indentations or grooves, and then there's a smooth side. You want to turn it in such a way that they fit in perfectly. So the prongs fit into the black head, and they have to sort of like fit together. You'll just know when it sort of connects. We're going to take the head and plug it to your power source. The next thing you need to do is to thread your bobbin. So the machine comes with 3 plastic clear bobbins like these ones. Industrial machines usually have a different shape. Domestic machine ones are different. So it comes with 3 of these, and there is 1 already in there. So that's a total of 4 bobbins. So I'm going to go ahead and take the one here and fill it up with whatever color of thread I want to use and move on to the next step. Here has a base, which is where the bobbin sits, and if you pull it backwards, you can easily open up this bed where the bobbin usually resides. So once you just poke that out with your nail, it's fairly easy to remove the bobbin from that place. So this is what we're going to be putting thread on the sewing machine. And the great thing about this machine, it actually comes with a special place where you can easily thread your bobbin. I've decided to work with white thread, and there is a second stand here that's usually shorter than the one where the thread would normally sit. So the thread goes here. but the bobbin sits on this short one here. So if you just push that in, it will stay in place. And this is where you would normally thread your bobbin on a domestic sewing machine. So what you do is you take your thread and wrap it around however many times you like. You don't need to wrap it that much because the machine is going to do the work for you, which is great. So this is a closer shot of what I was explaining earlier on, and I have gone ahead and wanded my thread, is that even a word? And I've placed my thread around the bobbin like 3 or 4 times. And what you do is you push it towards this gray head over here, and that locks the bobbin in place. So once you put your foot on the pedal, it automatically winds thread into the bobbin. But from experience, what I just normally do is I hold it with my finger like this to prevent the thread from being wound up underneath the bobbin instead of into the actual bobbin space. So I just hold not that much, but just a little bit, about this long. And what this does is it acts as a buffer between the thread and the bobbin itself. So when I press the footer, it goes where it's supposed to go, like this. So once you have your desired amount of thread, just hold the bobbin back to unlock it from this silver head and just pull it out of that short stand it was, and cut the thread, and you have bobbin to work with. So there's a tiny silver teeth right here, and the thread has to go underneath that silver hook before it goes back into the machine from one of the holes here. So I've successfully placed my bobbin back, and I've put the thread through that tiny silver hook. I'm going to go ahead and thread the rest of the machine. Now on to threading the actual body of the machine. So you place your thread on this. It usually comes short like that, but if you pull it out, it becomes longer, and then you can place your thread there. So you're going to take a reasonable length of thread and pull it towards the left side of the machine. So if you look on top, there are drawings showing you the direction of the thread, and the first place we need to go is this spot over here. So we're going to go underneath this shape, this gray colored shape, and there is a needle underneath that you need to sort of hook, and we are going to go in there. So it says go like this underneath that round shape. So once you do that, we are going to go down towards the front of the machine like this, around your tension knob and up again into this silver thing. So if you roll the wheel by the side, there is a silver hook you see in there, and you need to put the thread inside that silver hook. We are going to go back down, and over the needle there is another silver hook that guides the needle, and you need to put the thread behind it. Is this one over here. Don't know if you can see it clearly, but that's it. So once you've passed it behind that hook from this side, you're going to thread that needle from the front to the back. So once you've threaded your needle, the last step for you to do is to roll the needle into your machine to catch the bobbin thread. It's literally like magic. And then you pull the bobbin thread upwards like so. There you have it. You should always have 2 threads whenever you sew, one from the bobbin and one from the top. Before you start sewing, always remember to close the case, and you do this simply by sliding in and pushing forward like that to secure your bobbin in place. So I've got myself some scrap material, and I'm going to sew on it to test the stitching. So I'm sewing the way all of the settings came. I haven't changed anything. So when you sew a stitch, the way I like to sew is I roll the needle in. It doesn't matter where the seam allowance is, how wide it is, we're just testing for now. And then you drop the footer using this plastic lever at the back. So you drop it like this, and that holds your fabric down and prevents it from moving around when you sew. One thing that is good practice when you stitch is you sew 3 stitches down and reverse the stitch and come back again to secure it. Let me show you. So now we're going to press the pedal, 3 down. To hold down your reverse button and press the pedal, and what that does is it goes backwards, so going into the stitches that you just made like this. So when you come back again the 3rd time, that stitch would be secure and tight. So now let's go back and test our machine. So the same thing we did at the beginning, we're going to do at the end. So we are going to reverse stitch to close off the long line of stitch that we just did. It's really good to do it at the beginning and at the end of a seam, because that prevents that seam from unraveling when you begin to use or wear the garment. So I'm going to hold down the reverse footer and go back into my stitch, let it go, and come back again to finish off. So when you pull that out, you see that that stitch is nice and secure. And even if you try to like strain the material, it's not going to unravel because you secured it at the beginning and at the end. The machine stitches quite beautifully actually. This is straight from the box, no repairs, no maintenance, nothing. This is on a tension of 4 and stitch number 11, and it looks really nice and neat. The second knob in the front, which is this smaller one, controls the tension of the top thread, which is the thread that goes on from the actual thread itself on all the way around into your needle and what actually sews the top half of your garment. So lower tensions are from 1 to 3, and then higher tensions are from 5 until 9. So tension is something that helps to either tighten the top stitch or make it looser. But just know that lower tensions are the lower numbers and higher tensions are the higher numbers around here. To control the movement of the needle down here, you roll this round knob on the side of the machine, on the right side of the machine. So if you roll it towards yourself, the needle goes down, but if you roll it away from yourself, the needle goes up. But if you just continue to roll it, the needle just goes up and down and up and down. So the last bit of information I'd like to show to you guys is the amount of stitches that this machine comes with. So the stitches which your machine gives is controlled by this knob in the front, and as you can see, there are little diagrams here showing what the stitch would look like and numbers as well. Then you have your buttonhole stitches over here, which is A, B, and C. You also have some more zigzag stitches from 2 to 5, and these are just variations of zigzag stitches that you can either use to finish off your hem or do a decoration on your design. So my final thoughts on this machine are as follows. It's quite easy to thread and it's easy to understand because it comes not only with an instruction manual in CD form, it comes in an instruction manual in paper form as well, and in I think a few languages, so that's quite easy to go through if you need assistance in terms of setting up the machine. So it also has little illustrations all the way around, which is really useful because it just tells you where you need to go next. It's lightweight, something that I actually put in my suitcase and travel around with, and that is a blessing if I have to go somewhere to have a sewing party with someone. It's very trendy. Like, I love the design of the machine, like the colors in front and the clear bobbin case down there. I just think it's like really contemporary and trendy, machine design is quite sleek and clean as well in terms of the color and sort of the shape that the machine has. I am really happy I got this machine. I can't wait to use it with someone that would be in a one-on-one class with me. I'm going to leave a link to that down below so you guys can check it out if you're interested. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any more questions, please ask and I will get back to you as soon as possible. And until my next video, I hope you continue to create. I hope you continue to do amazing stuff and be the light of your world wherever you are. Have a good morning, afternoon, and evening wherever you're watching this video from. Bye, loves.